Welcome back, everyone, to the hashtag Catch a Glimpse podcast. This is episode 45. As you can see or listen or hear, of course, obviously, because if you're on Spotify or iTunes, you want to hear us.
Right.
It's just me and Ryan, or Ryan and I. We're chilling. Frankie's not here for this week's podcast, but don't worry, because you know that me and Ryan bring the spiciest up.
The sauce. The
The
sauce.
sauce.
Whenever it's
Yeah,
Keaton and I, we don't have like a filter. I mean, we have a filter, but not. It's almost like we don't care which direction it goes. As
Yeah,
if somebody hitches onto something, we'll go on with it for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like just having three people inherently kind of makes it where it's like
What do you
like,
think? What do you
yeah,
think?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, these are a little bit more. Granted, actually, the last podcast was kind of all over the place.
Yes. This
but-
one's gonna be worse.
Oh yeah, maybe. But good topics. Just if you listen to it, whenever you're doing whatever you're doing. So, here you go.
This podcast needs to be with an open mind.
Yeah, definitely.
This podcast episode specifically, you're going to need to just close your eyes, take a deep breath through the nose, out through the mouth, and just think openly.
Forget like while you're trying to fall asleep or something.
Right.
Or like meditating.
Forget everything you know and take what we say as truth. All right, this is how it's gonna happen.
We've talked about this as well. How there should be a big like disclaimer bar that goes across the screen.
We know all. Yes.
Yeah.
We are the all-knowing eye.
Anyways, it's episode 45, which is pretty crazy. I'm gonna take a look at the calendar real quick.
Yeah. What's up with that calendar? What are you looking at?
Do I say this?
I know what you're going. I think so.
Should I just say it?
Yeah. I think so.
Well, and I think it makes sense because technically,
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, if you're assuming what's going to be said, you could probably guess.
Yeah, and we've hinted at it in the past podcast as well. This is the end of season 1.
Almost, yeah. It's like your favorite show. These are the last 5 episodes that you're gonna get to watch and listen to.
Yeah.
Don't cry. Don't cry. It's all right,
guys.
We're not dead. All right.
We'll be back.
We got hired for season 2, man.
Season 2 confirmed.
They're not dropping us. Don't worry. We did a good job today.
Yeah, there will be a break. But more details will come out on that. If you're on YouTube, or Glimpse YouTube channel, more details will come out on everything on that topic. So
yeah, if you want more information, definitely go to the YouTube channel Glimpse. We'll probably make a video explaining everything. It'll probably be like a quick 5-8 minute video saying like, hey, this is what we're doing. Podcast, this is how that works. So if you're a specific podcast listener or viewer, that video is for you 100% whenever it comes out.
For sure, yeah. And there's going to be some change-ups, but it's definitely for the better of what we're doing. We always want to provide like high quality stuff, and this is definitely where we're going to go with. So yeah, just go check that out. It might not be up yet,
right?
Of course, but stay tuned for that. So yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna go hop into the first topic.
Let me tell
pretty
you.
Big.
I think.
Wait, let me say this.
Yeah.
Let's go hop into the first topic.
Whoa, that's like.
What was that, Ryan?
That was like deja vu right there. You said that twice, I think, or maybe you said it once, and I thought you said it twice. How does that work? How does deja vu as a whole work? Because I want to... I can't really do it. I'm recording. Could you search up just the Wikipedia definition of deja vu? I want to hear it specifically from the actual scientists.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Oh, my phone's
Okay.
not silent.
So déjà vu
Hmm.
is a French loan word expressing the feeling that one has lived through the present situation before.
Okay. Now,
Now,
right. Go ahead.
see, that was weird, you know?
Yeah.
We both said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I have like, and it's like been consistent where I'll get like moments of déjà vu,
Hmm.
and they're like gut feeling, like
Yeah.
very, you know,
Have you had one
strong
recently?
instances of it, but I don't like actually think it's ever happened to me before.
Right. Have you had one recently? Because I haven't had one that experience, that feeling that I can remember.
I would say I've for sure had one. I can't put like a specific like moment in time out.
Like, I can't remember the last time I had one.
Oh, I would say mine is probably when at least just to be like, uh, not saying I get them like, oh my gosh, I'm getting them all the time.
I got my
Probably like
mojo.
last 6 months.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't think I've had one in the past 2, 3 years. Like, it's been so long that I can't remember the last time I was just like, I've been here, I've said that. Like, but I haven't actually been like, whoa, deja vu, man. You
Hmm.
know? Um, but yeah, the thought of deja vu, like, is it? Where does it come from? Is it a chemical in the body that's just like, yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
trick you?
it's weird that your body, like, it's not even just your mind being like, oh, this is really similar to that thing I did
It's like
whenever. Because
that pain
sometimes you'll,
felt similar to what I just
because yeah,
yeah.
sometimes you'll get it when it's like, what I was saying was, like, I'll get moments of deja vu where it's like, I'm pretty sure that has never happened before, but I'll still get moments of deja vu.
Yeah.
And so it's weird that it's not even like necessarily like a memory connection. It's more of like a weird mental thing that happens, and it's like a different feeling than anything else. So it's weird how your body can even like give you that feeling when it's not connected to anything else. I don't know. It's really strange.
Yeah, it's just like now if you think about it, I have a theory on deja vu. Okay. Oh, I just changed my colors. The idea of deja vu, right? This is my working theory. Now you can believe me if you want. Um, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. Do you, you know? Um, what if the deja vu feeling is an alternate self? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You almost collide at that same point as the other being of yourself. So let's say Keaton 2 is walking down the street to Quick Trip, right? And Keaton 1 is walking the other way but collide with Keaton 2, right? So
Hmm.
you get that feeling of you've been there before. And it's almost like the Keaton 2 is off by 5 minutes. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like Keaton 1 is present, Keaton 2 is 5 minutes past. And it's
Yeah.
like sometimes those two beings link up, and that's what causes deja vu.
I want to first say the way you start that talk, like Keaton one walks to Quick Trip.
Mm-hmm.
If like anybody in this or anybody watching the podcast, isn't from the Midwest, they'd be like,
What is Quick
well,
Trip?
either that or like, okay, these guys are Midwesterners. But
We've got what,
um,
3 in town?
yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Um,
But Keaton
I
1 and
understand what
Keaton
you're
2.
saying.
Yeah.
Um, and we've kind of talked about this about like when you go to sleep, then your dreams are like the reality of like the other. person that's awake while you're sleeping, you
Right.
know? So, like, yeah, definitely, it could be some parallel universe or, like, whatever happening.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's strange how, like, you could get deja vu from something actually happening, and then your body can totally make up deja vu
Yeah.
moments. And then, but in both instances, you're getting the same, like, feeling when
Hmm.
it happens. And so it's just
Exactly.
weird that it's mixed.
I don't know. Creeps me out. Can you imagine that being like an actual truth? And I just cracked the code right here.
And then oh my gosh, and
That's the
imagine this.
resetting point. Hey, nice callback.
Now
Nice.
Ryan 2 is also gonna think this, get deja vu of that happening, and then he knows it's gonna be a truth, and then that's when we get reset. Because they're like, now
Right.
they've confirmed it.
They know that I know. Then now I'm gonna
Yeah.
spread the word, and that's how hobos were created. Now let me break it down. Right, hobos. Listen. The classic New York hobo. Right. Oh, the world's
Mm.
ending.
Oh, okay, okay.
2056. They know the truth, and we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you're
Crazy old
crazy.
man, woman.
I got deja vu. Okay.
Hey, deja vu's real. Let me explain it to you. Sit here for a minute. No, man, I got work to go to. You know
No,
that.
gotta
Yeah,
go to
that's
work, man.
hobos are just sane
And
people who don't get believed. Hmm.
yeah,
Guess I'm a hobo now.
honestly.
Guess I'm a hobo now.
Well, I hopefully, if you get the deja vu of the confirmation of
How will
that,
I know?
and you start to go crazy.
I'm Ryan 1,
That's true.
or
I
am I
guess
Ryan
you
2?
might. Well, you don't know.
Uh,
But anyways, you didn't get the confirmation, so now you're just gonna have to leave it up to
yeah,
Ryan.
he better be
So
just
if
as smart as me.
anything, you should have just not said it
Hmm.
and wait until the other Ryan said it.
We should have skipped this topic first. I mean,
Yeah.
he was
So
probably going on a different order. Keaton 2 messed everything up. He just he
yeah.
jumped to the first one, and oh man.
Yeah. Dang. Well, I guess
Do
you'll
you
have to
want
wait
to
till the end of
skip
the
around?
podcast
Maybe
to
I
see if
you might ruin. I
we'll
don't know.
we'll have to wait till the end of the podcast to see if the
Ryan
world
2
gets
kicks
reset or
in.
something.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
That's
But
the
anyways,
podcast restarts at the end.
yeah. Yeah. There we go. Um. So this kind of bleeds into our next topic, talking about intuition. And so I feel like deja vu and intuition are like that pretty close, like mental feeling of, you get deja vu and it's like a weird feeling. And then intuition is so similar because it could just be chalked up to like,
Like a gut feeling.
yeah, like a gut feeling or like you feel strongly about it for almost no reason. It could be like the first thing that, like, let's say, pick a number between 1 and 100, and the first number that comes to your head is the
Oh,
1, and you get
hold
it
on, wait,
correct.
hold on. 3, 2, 1, 27.
37. What did you say?
27.
I said 37. Dang.
Now here's the reason I got actual scientific fact on why we both said 7. 7 is the most. If you were to roll a pair of dice,
Yeah.
the number 7 is the highest probability, the highest probability that you will get out of the two dice to
Yeah.
equal.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever people, it's like those trends on TikTok. This guy, I see his face and I hear his voice, but he goes like, "What's this that I'm holding?" Right, paper. Right, and then he goes, "What's your name?" And then he'll say a random name, and people in the comments are just like, "Oh, that's me." And
No
he
shot.
goes, "Now think of a fruit," and he's holding only red objects. So people go, "Oh, apple," and he's like, "You said apple. If I get it right, like and follow." I'm like, dude, I don't know where I was going with that. What was? Wait,
just schmas of
wait. Intuition.
the
The
brain.
number 7. It's like
Yeah.
it's almost like there's this. I don't know why it's coming to my mind like this, but I remember a experiment that these scientists did where they showed context clues to some a child, and these like okay, they put this child in a room, and the room's all white and there's flowers everywhere, and then they go outside and that same flower's there, and then they go to like some restaurant and that flower's in a pot, and then they ask the child the next day, what's your favorite flower, can you draw it for me, and then they draw that flower that's reoccurring. It's
Mhm.
like the same thing with those
With
TikTok
yeah.
trends and the numbers and
Mhm.
stuff. Because 7 is like, oh, you go to the casino, 777, I win. You know, it's like that. Um, yeah, intuition.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
that's a interesting thing. Especially with like just like any of those experiments. Like
We
what
could
movie
go.
is that?
The triplets. Talk about the
No, I
triplets.
was there's like the
That's a
um
crazy story. I would love to get into that
I don't even remember like it's like holding up two signs or something.
technology.
It's in a movie. It was in the start of a movie. I don't remember what movie, and
Okay.
it's like the shocking one. Oh, Ghostbusters. It was in Ghostbusters. They like the dude would shock like the people if they were doing something. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't
Bro.
know.
Hmm.
There's just a lot of those types of
That's actually a really good
experiments
topic
and
with
stuff.
like the triplets. Do you know what I'm talking about? The triplet
I don't
experiment
think so.
about poverty and like raising them into different social class.
Well, that sounds messed up.
Do you remember that in
Just like
school or no?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna write it down. That's gonna be a great topic at a different time because that I could go into, and it's still messed up to this day that they still do not know why they were separated at birth. Go ahead.
Hmm.
That's a great.
Okay,
That's gonna want you to tune into next episode. The triplets.
so to go back to intuition, um, no, again, like you could just chalk it up to like a lucky guess
Mhm.
or
A gut
whatever.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I wanted to bring up intuition because I was talking about it this morning, and I'll tell you why in a bit. But
Okay. Okay.
I remember, and I know you remember, because we were in the same first hour study hall,
Okay.
whatever year that was, senior year maybe, possibly.
I thought Albrecht was our first hour.
Maybe it was second hour.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's go with that. I think we try and debate that every single time. We don't
Yeah.
know, but in that we had a friend, Dason,
Mm.
and he would bring his D20,
Oh,
which
I
if people don't know, it's
remember
a
that.
die with 20 sides on it.
Dungeons and
And
Dragons. Is it specifically Dungeons and Dragons, or is it just a die?
I I actually don't know. I mean, it's just a die. I'm sure you could use it for other stuff. I don't know if like that's where it originated from. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. But yeah, so it would be me, Ryan, Dason, and another person.
Hmm.
And we would just go in a circle and keep, rolling the die until whoever gets a D20 first, just to pass time. We're not doing anything.
All right.
Um, and we would just go around a circle. And I don't know how many like weeks we did this or how many days we did this, whatever. But whenever it would get, I would always get like the gut feeling or intuition on, all right, this is going to be the D20.
Yeah.
And then they'd roll it, either if it was whoever or if it was me, and we'd roll it, and that one would be the D20.
Okay.
We rolled the
Yeah.
20, the nat 20.
I think you're just the sleeper cell agent. I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It shut me off.
Yeah.
Um, so like I think intuition is I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say it's something that you can like master and like people can, like there's people that like talk to ghosts and spirits and stuff. Intuition, I think, is somewhere in the mix of like some weird spiritual thing that you're trying to use. Um, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say like it's 100% legit, but I definitely feel like there is times when intuition is, a thing for sure.
Right.
And especially when you like even there's some like murder mysteries or like well not mysteries, but like those cases where the victim that escapes is like, yeah, and I just had this gut feeling like I had to get out or
Like I had
whatever.
a
And
gut
it's
feeling
like
that something was watching me.
yeah, and like there's no reason for them to think that at all, but it's just like they have that. And
I
so
I don't
I definitely
know.
think it's a thing.
I don't know if this is true or not. Now, if you could fact check it for me. I know that there's different senses that we have. We have five senses, right? The hearing, touch, sight, smell, taste. Is there any other mental senses that we have? Because I feel like intuition has to be one of them. Because that feeling of somebody staring at you in the back of the head and then you turn and nothing's there, I feel like that's got to be a mental sense. And maybe not everybody has it, but is it a thing?
Um,
What are you seeing?
so there's more than like the five of just like senses. So this
Right.
says like pain, itch, temperature, kinesthetics, balance, chemical, hunger, thirst, time, direction, intuition. So that's one of them.
Intuition.
Emotional, energetic, and electromagnetic. So I guess that would be like the actual
Huh.
total is 19.
It's almost like I think they're just breaking it down more. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you could break
yeah.
down like heat, temperature to touch. Because
I mean,
like
I guess it could be like, like when you take like your temperature,
right,
you know, I
or like
guess,
you touch a hot pan. It's like like that.
yeah,
You know what's weird?
but
The idea. Oh, were you done with that topic? This just popped into my head.
Um, so I was just gonna say the reason I was thinking about this morning because when I was getting my hair cut,
Oh,
look at that segue.
oh,
I was
is
like
it cut now?
my well, yeah,
Oh, I thought you had it up.
yeah.
Yo,
See, tricked,
you're gonna have to show it
dude.
off now. Oh,
Sleeper cell agent, man, tricked.
right, right.
Um, so when I was talking to is there a female term for barber? Am I
Uh,
stupid?
no, I think it's just a barber. Search it. I mean, you got the Wikipedia, man. Female name
Mm,
for barber. A barbist?
Nah,
A
it can't be
a
right.
Barbie. A Barbie. It sounds right. Is
Um,
there a name? Is it a gender specific word?
a barber, I guess.
It's
It's
just
the
a
same thing.
barber. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Or I
We
guess
need to get some people on that.
stylist.
Stylist. That makes
That
sense.
works. Yeah, so talking to my stylist.
Hmm.
Okay, go with
Did you
that.
see it? I had another orb.
Oh, the wisp.
Yeah, I had another orb. It's fine. Keep
Yeah,
going.
that's all right.
Yeah, Paul's
And
around. Good to see him.
um,
Hmm.
you see a dude walk by. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. It's
Ah,
him.
what's up, Paul? Lays down. Good night. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Um, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm pretty sure the podcast is episode just something called like Ghost Live on Camera.
Yeah,
So
ghost caught
go
on
check out
camera
that
live.
um podcast.
I got
But
spooky stuff in my home.
yeah. So talking to my stylist and we're talking about intuition as well. Um because and I think I somewhat brought this up on the podcast. I couldn't go too deep into it. Um just because it could be related
Hmm.
or like it could easily find the origin. And talking about intuition, because at Platteville, I had a roommate. I got
I remember
some really
this.
bad vibes from the roommate.
Please tell this story. Can
Okay,
you?
I will, because I don't think
Don't
anyone's
say
gonna.
names.
Yeah. So, I go to Platteville, and I was gonna go for civil engineering. Now, to go past that, a week later, I decided not to do that. Came home, and I'm going local college right now, and I'm gonna go for media studies, be a cinematographer, which was what I actually want to do. But at Platteville, when I had my roommate, tried contacting him beforehand to be like, "Hey, what's up? Let's be roommates, whatever. How's it doing?" Doesn't have like social medias or nothing.
Mhm.
We then meet in person. We talk like a bit. He doesn't talk that much. I know he's gonna be like a shyer dude, and that's completely fine. But even if we're in the same dorm room, we still have some communication. Like, hey, what time you waking up? You know,
Right.
like and if he doesn't want to talk to me, then we're both adults at this point. He should just say that to me if that's the case.
Right.
So it was just weird because there was not a lot of communication. Um, so just other weird stuff happened at Platteville. I remember going to drop off my books at the library. And while going to do that, there's a smaller building to my right, and it's like hazmated off. Like there's this see-through plastic curtains or whatever, like
Yeah.
blocking the doorways, and people in hazmat suits sitting in front of like a table. And it was just like this is strange to say the least.
Hmm.
And
In that
then,
moment, were you thinking like at all zombie apocalypse?
dude, I was thinking like COVID must have blown up in that building for that to happen. Like something must have went down. Um, so it was just weird because like whenever I'd be in my dorm and then I'd go out to eat lunch or dinner or whatever, he would never leave. Like by the time that I'd leave and come back, he'd still be there. So it was just weird because it's like he never left the room. And you
Imagine
know,
that was like an apparition and that was like a ghost and you were just by yourself in
yeah,
your dorm room.
yeah.
Oh,
Hey, who's that guy? Oh,
you-
fuck.
somebody knocks on the door and is asking if you want to buy the other half so you can take up the whole room. And you're just
But
like,
he's right
what?
there.
What about? Yeah. All right.
What about that? Oh,
Huh?
he's not there. Um, so it was just strange. Um, and then there's some other stuff I'm like don't want to just like say, but
Mhm.
the main thing is our desks are like on opposite corners of the dorm room. And if you know what a dorm room looks like, it's more rectangular than square,
Yeah.
and so desks are opposite corners, so essentially like our backs, or my back is to him actually. He's looking with how his desk orientated towards me, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was sitting just like watching YouTube or something. It was nighttime. And I had this intuition of just a feeling of a cord like going around my neck. And so it was just really weird. And I already decided that, I'm not going to go to Platteville because I want to go back home to just do my gen eds and stuff and go from there. So it was strange. And, I'm not saying that this dude is bad at all because no, like, real big signs exhibited.
Right.
And, he could be totally fine at this point. But I always also had the thought or intuition of somebody dying at Platteville my first year there. So I'm like, well, the fact that I had the intuition of cable going around my neck and somebody dying here, I don't want to be that person.
Right.
So it's even better that I left. So I come home, say that story to my mom, and she's like shocked at first because she's like, well, I don't even know if I want to tell you this, but I
Hmm.
had a dream where you were getting like killed. And so it was like, yeah, let's
That's
not go
crazy.
there. So yeah, yep. So yeah, that's my intuition on that. Not saying any of it, happened or whatever, but it was that same like gut feeling of that. So yeah,
Just
hard champ.
it's like chills. Just the idea that you had this feeling that this person could do this, and then you went home and your mom's like, "Yeah, I had like a dream that this happened to you," and like the timeline. is really messing with me. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's very freaky. And
definitely.
do you think if you would have stayed there, something would have happened now?
I think something would've. I don't think it would be. I hope it wouldn't have been, as drastic as
Mm-hmm.
my feeling of it what is or was. Um, I don't know. I haven't looked at like any Platteville news if like anybody died in the first year. I probably doubt it,
Right.
but still, I mean, I was gonna leave anyways, so it was fine.
Mm.
But yeah, really weird. So, um, here's my haircut.
Yeah, let's see
If you're
it.
on YouTube,
Yeah, if you're on
um,
Spotify and iTunes, come on over. You're gonna have to see it. He had
look at
long hair for a
this.
long time.
Yeah, I had long hair, like past or like to my shoulders, maybe a little bit past.
Yeah.
Um, Went back to a haircut I had like last summer. I've been wearing a hat for like 4 or 5 hours now, so it's not
Yeah.
gonna look
It's
like
probably gonna be
good
matted
right
down.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm only worried about the length. That is perfect. That is the perfect length that it should be. Quite literally, that length fits you 100%. 100%.
yeah, I got like the for
Um,
iTunes and Spotify people,
yeah, go ahead.
it's like the middle part curtain style, whatever. Um, I had it like last summer, but when I was growing my hair out, I had a double undercut previous, so when I got to that point of longer hair, none of it was even. So it's the first time it being even. And again, say because it does look kind of sad right now. Uh,
Um,
I've been
I've
wearing a hat, so
I've been watching the show Supernatural, and there's these two characters named Dean and Sam Winchester. Okay, and your haircut and like facial structure and the way that your facial hair is right now matches Sam Winchester so perfectly.
Sam cosplay. Let's
But
go.
your hair
Yeah.
almost is exactly like that. If you were to, yeah, literally almost exactly like him. It freaks me out a little bit because this character in the show, he, I don't want to say anything just in case people are watching it. I'm blurry now, but I'll try to fix it. During, but he is very much a vital part of the show. So
Hmm.
don't think he's like, oh, one episode he was there, one episode he's not, he's dead now. Like, but yeah, that's just what it reminded me of. And to reel it back a little bit, we were talking. I was saying I was going to bring up something, and I forgot
Yes.
why I said I was going to bring up something, but I know what I was going to say.
All right.
Oh, the temperature, the touching the stove thing. When we were kids, or when what I've noticed that parents do to their kids is we lie to them so that they don't do certain things.
Hmm.
You get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like let's say your kid touches an antique that sits on a shelf, right? And you go, "Oh, don't touch that. That's hot." Right? It makes it so that they don't
Mm.
touch it cuz it'll hurt them, right? Quote unquote hurt
Hmm.
them. What are some lies that you can think of that you were told as a kid, or maybe you've heard been told to a kid, or maybe just things that used to be said when there's kids around? Because I have one. If you don't have one, I can start.
Um, I would say, I mean, like when there's like candy or something, you know,
Yeah.
it would always be something like oh, it tastes just like spinach or something,
Yeah.
because
It's
then
like,
it's like,
oh,
oh,
it
I don't
tastes
want to eat
so
that.
healthy.
Ugh,
Or
nasty.
I remember when I was, and I didn't get it at first, but when I was younger, and I had a niece that would come over, and so when I got something, she would get it too. So it'd be
Hmm.
like a treat or something. Um, and I remember it was getting too late for her, so if we were to give her ice cream, it would have hopped her up, and then it would have not put her to bed, right? But I
Yeah.
was old enough to like keep it down, you know what I mean? So at the time, you don't think anything of it. And you're like, "Oh, mom, can I have ice cream?" And then she's like, you know, she goes, but what I learned is we spell things and they don't understand what we're spelling. It's
Mm,
like, Mom, can I have ICECREAM ice cream? Um,
mm,
and it would almost be like that language, Pig Latin, like Esne, some whatever. You're like
yeah.
Pig Latin. People don't understand it, but some people do because they learned the language. It's almost like the same thing, but harder, I would say. Um,
Um,
do you remember any more that you?
yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna put my hat back on.
Yeah, but the reason I said this is because there was like something at. I remember being young and at the park, and it was me, my sister, and my niece, and we were there, and some mom was like, "Oh, don't touch that; it's too hot," and then they never touched it.
Um, this isn't like really the same. I'd say it's adjacent though.
Yeah.
Whenever we would like go do something like, like go to the water park
Hmm.
or go to like a trampoline park or whatever, something like above and beyond, right? Um, and it's like we can't let people know, like let's
Hmm.
say it's like only gonna be like me, my dad, and my sister or something. It's like we don't want to let the other family members
Yeah.
know, right? Then we're like, oh, we're going to the dentist. Oh, okay.
Or almost like if they're in the vehicle with you and they're just like, "Oh, we can't go right now. It's closed." And you like emphasize closed and like you get some like
Yeah.
wide eyes. It's like, "Oh, okay, it's closed.
Mm,
It's closed.
yeah.
Whatever. It's
But
closed."
yeah, so otherwise I don't think I've had any specific with like, oh, don't go over there, or
Hmm.
like, oh, don't touch that. But yeah, definitely some like misdirection.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Um, I have one more thing to wrap up this episode. Um,
alrighty, let's hear it.
I wrote it down in our little notes over here as Ryan Tings 1. Okay. And I just want to know this simple thing. When you go to the bathroom, right? And you go to flush the toilet,
Hmm.
do you close the lid before you flush or do you leave it open? And I'll give you the scientific stuff after you tell me.
I'll say this.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a lot of different possibilities here. If I'm at home, then I leave the lid up. Okay?
Okay.
Don't sue me.
Right.
All right?
It's home, you feel comfortable.
It's home, you feel comfortable. Majority of guys here
When I
in the
say
household.
when I say lid, I mean like the lid to close the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And see, that's still even a thing that um, people in my family don't like is whatever.
Mhm.
Um, then I would say this: if it's nighttime, I don't know why, because it doesn't make a difference at all. But I close it then because it makes less noise flushing. Doesn't that's not a thing,
Right.
but that's what like my 8-year-old brain thought. So I'm like, yes, and I've kept it ever since. And then if I'm in public or like somebody else's house or whatever, then I close it.
So you majority would say you close the lid. You said you keep it open at home.
Keep it open at home, close it at somebody else's house.
Okay. Now here's the scientific stuff.
If you keep it open, you're a murderer.
No. If you flush with the lid open, poo-poo particles fly through the air and land on toothbrushes and like hairbrushes or just things around it.
I mean,
poo-poo particles.
I would say it depends on how close your toilet is to, like, you know.
I mean,
What's the
okay? Listen, you sneeze, right? You sneeze.
Tell me the toilet's range, man. Am I using this as a sniper support?
Listen,
or an AR, man?
Listen, you sneeze, right? If, let's say you sneeze forward, no blocking anything. It's not gonna just go straight. It's gonna go straight and dissipate.
Out.
Right.
Yeah.
So same thing. You flush the toilet, it's gonna go out the hole and dissipate and float down like an aerosol can, like you're spraying something.
But see, that's the thing. It's still, let's say, a 4-foot radius around the toilet, right?
Okay.
Let's just say a big 4-foot radius cylinder around the toilet. That's still not where my toothbrush or hairbrush or anything is.
Well, all I'm gonna say
so I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying I'm in the clear.
Yeah, but listen, you're eating poo-poo particles and you don't even know it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just breaking it down for you. You know, you poo-poo particles in the toilet. You know, it's going everywhere onto the toothbrush.
So what I've learned is I shouldn't be making eggs by the toilet.
Right. Well, you should be closing. You should be closing the hatch before you drop
and
the
then
bombs.
I can make the eggs.
Right.
By the toilet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much the moral of the story here. Close your hatch before dropping the bombs.
All right.
So, yeah, that will pretty much wrap it up for episode 45 of the Catch a Glimpse podcast. If you guys did enjoy this podcast and you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications to keep up with our weekly content for now. That's a little bit of a jump into what's going to happen. And if you're listening on iTunes and Spotify, please leave a 5-star rating. We do upload these podcasts on both platforms at 7 a.m. on Sunday. And 7 a.m. on Sunday. Both platforms. All platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're always confused on that. I should probably write a little note so that it says it.
In the future, we'll have it somewhere on screen as well. And then we'll have like a mini script.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, Keaton. If you have anything else to say. Ryan 1 or 2 hasn't kicked in, so I guess I got it wrong. Is that
hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right. See you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.